My name is Marian Ajari. I'm a financial consultant. Wow, it was really a mind-blowing experience because so before I came in contact with this ministry, I had been hearing God, but I didn't really understand a lot of things. I didn't. There was a particular course we were taught here called spiritual anatomy, which really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Opened my eyes to spirit, soul, and body, how we hear God, our spiritual heart. So it was when I got here, I understood everything. Everything just began to make more sense when I got here. So I now began to understand all the things I was experiencing, all the things I was hearing. When I was hearing, what should I do? How do I respond to God? So that was one of the major things that School of Tyrannus taught me. Oh, so how has it impacted what I do? A great deal. So because I'm a businesswoman, right, and I'm into consulting, so I have to make a lot of decisions every day. I have to make decisions like ASAP. You know, I have to say yes, no. I have to, you understand? So it's really helped me because before I came to School of Tyrannus, I used to hear God only in the morning because I didn't understand the other ways God used to speak. So I did not know during the day. I didn't used to know that it was Him talking to me. So during School of Tyrannus, I learned how to hear God in other ways. You know, God speaks a lot of ways. Like in School of Tyrannus, we're taught over 10 ways God speaks. So I learned the other ways God speaks. And then when I'm working, I need to make a decision, right? I just tell the person, oh, just give me 2 minutes, you understand? Or I'll get back to you in 2 minutes. And I just say, oh, Lord, so what do I do? You know, and the Lord responds and I just have to say, okay, do this, do that. Sometimes God even tells me, don't work with this person, don't take this money, don't do this, don't do that. So for my business, it has really helped me. So I'm also an accountant. So sometimes He also helps me with internal controls. That is when there's fraud in a company, God actually lets me know when a fraud has happened in a company, and it makes my work really, really faster. And He also gives me wisdom every day. So the fact that He's uploading wisdom into me and I can download it and now translate it to use it for my business, it's really mind-blowing. So whenever you learn how to hear God, it helps you with your daily activities, all the decisions you have to make. You know, there's something I tell people. I tell people that it's very dangerous for you to be a Christian today and you don't know how to hear God. It's really, really, really disastrous when you can't hear God because you have to make decisions. There are many voices. You want to know what to do part time. So this course is something I recommend for everybody so you can be able to navigate this realm very well. Oh, in my family life, yeah, really amazing. So at home, you know, sometimes they trust that God will speak to me about something. So my siblings will ask me a question. Like whenever something is really, really spiritual, they'll be like, oh, let's go and meet Marian, you know. She'll be able to tell us what to do or what not to do, or she'll be able to tell us God said this or God said that. Then another thing it's really helped me do is whenever I tell people that, whenever I'm saying God said, you know, they're always like, oh, you spooky, you know, and then they're always like, you spooky. And I'm like, no, but you know God speaks, right? In Genesis, God spoke to Adam, right? And I tell them, God spoke to Abraham, right? God spoke to Isaac, God spoke to Joseph. God spoke to people in the Old Testament. He speaks to people in the New Testament. Why won't He speak to you today? And they're like, whoa, really? And I'm like, God speaks 10 ways. And I start, God speaks like this, He speaks like this. And they're like, oh, I've even experienced 5 out of them. I said, you see, the reason why you didn't know God speaks is because you did not know that these are the ways God speaks. And, you know, and it really opens a lot of people's mind to, oh, God speaks this way, that way. So out of like 10 ways, they're like, oh, I actually experienced 5, and then they press in for more. And I tell them, oh, when God says this, respond this way. When God does this, you do this. Pray in tongues more. You hear God. Stay silent. Stay still. Make sure you have quiet times. Stay in solitary places. So when I teach them these things, you know, it makes them want to come closer to God. And this School of Tyrannus has really been my greatest evangelical tool because whenever I meet someone and I want to talk to them about Jesus, right? If I just start saying God said, they look at me like, and I start talking to them, and they're open, their ears are open. So for me, when I'm evangelizing, I don't start with, oh, repent, the kingdom of God is at hand, or this or that. I start with conversation. And I say, you know, you can have this with God. And I don't make it spooky. And they're like, oh, really? As for them go, they try, and they come back and they're like, yeah, it really worked, you know. So it's been like, sincerely, my greatest evangelical tool. all my family, my friends, when I tell them about this, they're always like, whoa, tell me more, tell me more. So I teach them this, that, and at the end of the day, they come to enroll for School of Tyrannus. So it's really been a very amazing journey. I did it about 4 years ago, and it's really, really changed my life. I'm really excited. Oh, and by the way, before I started School of Tyrannus, I wasn't in Elohim Tabernacle. So it was School of Tyrannus that was the pathway for me to join this church, okay? Because I was like, wow, how can I learn this? And when I learned all of those things, I was like, oh, okay, it would be good to join this house because they'll teach me so much things. And when I joined Elohim Tabernacle, my spiritual life went on another trajectory. Like, it just went like 10x. And I'm really excited. So I'm using this as an opportunity to invite you to come to School of Tyrannus, come and learn how to hear from God. Somebody actually said something funny on my Facebook page. I said I was advertising School of Tyrannus, and he said they don't teach people how to hear God. I was shocked. I was like, how can you say that? But the truth is, if you don't know how God speaks, you will never really know God is speaking to you. Like I said, when I tell people about the different ways God speaks, they're like, oh, I actually experienced these 5. So when you come, it's just like we put more structure, and it makes more sense when you get to know the way God speaks. And it really helps your spiritual life. You grow. You know, it's really encouraging to know that the God you're serving, He's talking back to you. So you want to come for this program and grow your spiritual walk with God. Okay? Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you.